started trading oil out of all things. I don't know why. I think I took a
Oil
trade on
futures
oil,
was
and
your first one, huh?
my first trade was oil futures, and I think I
Yeah.
made like $4,000 in a paper
Wait,
trade.
so you went straight to CL, not MCL?
Yeah, no CL, no micros. This was,
This is
and
$10 a point.
I'm telling this to James, and he's like, if you want to just practice with oil and just get the read of the market, and I was like, I just made $4,000, and then I think the next day I lost like 12.
Randy, thank you very much for joining me here today, man. I'm really excited to get to know you a little bit further. I know we've been chatting for a long time. We've talked about TradersPost, and you've given TradersPost a spin for your copy trading efforts as well. But would love to dive in and get to know where you started trading and kind of the initial stages of your journey. So by all means, kick us off with your intro and let us know how this started.
Awesome, Mike. Thanks for having me. I appreciate this. Yeah, for me, it was, I don't know, the trading journey started 12 years ago, and then I took a hiatus for probably 10 of those 10 years. But initially, I've always been interested in the markets. So when I was younger, I had BNN on in the morning, which is the Canadian version of MSNBC, and I just watched that. And it just gave me a sense of, I just felt like I was tapped into what I wanted to be tapped into versus just watching the news. And I was always interested in markets and what's going on in economies and whatnot. So I ended up, I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. And up here, gold mines are a big deal because there's quite a few of them based out of here. And you knew someone that knew someone that knew somebody that was opening a gold mine or was a geologist or knew something about a gold mine. Anyways, I heard about this stock. I put about $10,000 into it. I had from the sale of a property that I had, and I basically, I want to say like it was 25x on the investment, and it ended up, I was up like $250, almost $300,000 on the investment. So I was like, look at me, I know what I'm doing. I know everything now, and I decided to invest in some blue chip stocks. And there was one specifically called Valeant Pharmaceutical, which was the rage.
I know Valeant. And there was a bill that was shorted by Bill Ackman, actually.
Yeah.
Right?
And that was, I never even knew what a short, let alone short selling or a short report or any of this was. And I woke up in the morning to this, a short seller coming out on it. And it was, I think I bought it at, I don't know, 250 or 300. And it was down to like $75. And so I started buying more, thinking I will average out. This thing is going to bounce, or average in, sorry. And it basically ended up going to zero. So I lost all that money. And to me, that money represented, when I had it, like this was our future. This is going to be the nest egg. I'm going to grow this into something like, even though it was initially 10 grand that turned into that, I put so much weight on the value of that money. It really dictated my life for the next few years, that loss.
Yikes.
And I basically just stayed away from the markets. I was so torn, and I just watched opportunities come and go in front of me over the next 10 years. And eventually, when I decided, I had a construction company with a business partner of mine, and I decided it was not, the construction market here started to slow down, as in renovations and stuff. And I just decided I wasn't happy anymore. I just wasn't coming home from work, not in a good mood. What I thought I was enjoying life, I wasn't. I was actually, drinking more, doing other stuff more. And it was not conducive to what I always pictured my life to be coming into my 40s. And at that time, my girlfriend at the time, we ended up trying, and she got pregnant, and I just said, now's the time. If I'm going to make a change, we're starting a family, starting something new, like I got to do this now. I can't do this when he's here, and it's going to be even harder. So I started listening to, I just searched, did a quick Google search on podcasts on day trading, and Austin Silver's podcast came up.
Okay. Yeah.
I listened to episode 1 to, I think, like an episode 100. And I did this for 3 months straight. And then I called them and set up a call with them. And I said, hey, I want to trade Forex. This is what you do. And, I wasn't caught up to speed with the podcast, but I didn't realize that they stopped trading Forex. So he's like, we're not trading Forex anymore. We're trading futures. And I was like, what's the future?
Yeah.
And he explained it to me. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to take the route of trying to do this on my own. I have some money put away. I'm just going to go in. It's like, paying tuition to go to university. I'm just going to go all in. I'm going to get to start a mentorship, and that's what I did. And it'll be coming on to 2 years this January.
Oh, it's amazing. So a little bit of an interesting journey there. And I wanted to ask about a couple of things. You started in just stocks, which I know Valeant was unfortunately the worst one for you. Were you trading other stocks at that time though, or is it mainly just Valeant?
So it was Valeant, and then there was another company, which was like the Canadian version of Valeant. It was called Concordia, which also got shorted at the same time.
Oh, why did you choose pharmaceuticals? I'm just curious.
Because it was the pharmaceutical space at that point in time was just it was like AI today.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It was just a craze, the pharmaceutical, like it was, everybody was putting their money in pharmaceuticals.
They were all growing by acquisition. If I recall, Valeant was really
and Valeant bought up every company, but when that short seller came out that they were marking up the price of their prescription,
their drugs.
And the CEO turned out to have some other stuff going on. So it was like, I did take a probably 20% of that portfolio, and I put it into a company called Hudson Bay.
Okay.
Hudson Bay is a Canadian retailer, which is like 200 years old. It's in every city. It's a beautiful department store. But what attracted me to Hudson Bay was they owned real estate holdings. I bought the shares at $28, and at that time, the real estate holdings were worth $40. They had stuff in Europe, owned another department store, and all the buildings the department stores were in. So I thought this was a safe bet. This, again, is where I just was so scorned. So I put money into there, and that started to go up, and I was stoked because I had a little bit of money set aside still. And then price started to come down, and it got below my entry price. And I'm like, what's going on with this company?
Yeah.
They have these real estate assets, and all the analysts were like, they couldn't understand it. It got down to $18, and then all of a sudden, the company decides to go private. And all the shareholders, and the majority of the shareholders have been there forever and probably bought in at dollars, agreed to sell their shares for $15. So now my $28 share is now worth $15. And that was kind of I'm done. Yeah. I'm out. I'm not looking at stock markets. This is rigged. This is bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm leaving, right? So
yeah.
That's kind of
and you had decent analysis too. You did the book value on it. You're like, the real estate holdings are worth more. There's an intrinsic valuation to it, right?
Yeah, and it was just it felt really good.
Yeah. And
when it comes to even trading futures now, like when I have a gut feeling, I go with my intuition.
Sure.
So go ahead.
This is fascinating. You got hit pretty hard by stocks, which totally makes sense. And honestly, like you made good decisions, but bad outcomes came from it. I'm curious what drove you then to deciding to trade in an entirely new market. What interested you in Forex before you realized that Austin was doing futures?
Just listening to the podcast and wanting to be a day trader, where I originally thought I was a trader, and all I really was an investor. Like I was trading.
Got it.
Swing trading over such a long term. Like I still actually hold some small positions in some stocks that I've had for like 10 years. Where if you asked me that 10 years ago, I'd tell people I trade. And it's the furthest thing. Now I understand, day trading, intraday trading, swing trading, and then just an investor.
Got it.
Right? Where you're just long-term holding. So it was the allure of being a day trader and then just having that, getting to the desk in the morning and trading. And originally I thought I'd trade for 8 hours a day. Like I thought that was, how cool would that be? Like, come trade for a few hours, go for lunch, come back, trade some more. Everybody's making money. Like it's all fun and games. And then I realized, obviously, as time goes on, initially you want to spend as much time as you can on the charts, but when you get to a point and you start to understand price action and become, start to get those goals of even becoming profitable or just having, your process dialed right in, you start to realize, hey, it's mentally exhausting being at the charts.
That's right.
And that's where
even more than an hour sounds exhausting to me. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
When I love it, you only stream for a short while, and we only stream max 90 minutes, where there's people that stream all day, and I can't imagine.
I don't know how they do it.
I don't either.
That's a lot. So let's talk about what happened once you joined Austin's group. What did you learn in the initial days? And did you ever get to a point where you felt like, okay, this is the aha moment for me. I think I figured this out.
So when I joined Austin's group. My son was born January 2nd. I talked to Austin that month prior, December. I didn't end up actually fully joining until February. And for me, I got paired up. James Bruce was my mentor, and he's
James.
from South Africa.
Yeah.
And he's just a great trader, but he just slowly worked me into trading. And I think I was more interested in not even trading futures or Forex, but just understanding the charts.
Got it.
Just understanding what those candlesticks meant and what, trend lines were and all these things that you hear and see from other things. And I had never followed anybody on social media, so I didn't get that influx that way. I just saw analysts on BNN, and they're talking, and again, not realizing that they're not day trading. These are, again, swing traders building portfolios, investors building things for clients over long term.
Right.
And so once I actually got into the charts and saw that, because on TV, all you see is it's basically a 3-month or a 6-month or a yearly
200
chart.
SMA or whatever. Yeah.
And that's all they ever show. And
right.
Here's where it was, 52-week high or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so as James introduced me to the charts and I started to just see the New York Open and I literally fell in love with the way that market would open, and it would do this. And then so you can see it would go up and then down and up and down, where, you're looking at a longer time frame thing. It's just more of a gradual curve, or unless there's some sort of crazy sell off in the stock. So that attracted me. And I started trading oil out of all things. I don't know why. I think I took a trade on oil, and my first
one, huh?
my first trade was oil futures, and I think I made like $4,000 in a paper trade.
Wait, so you went straight to CL, not MCL?
Yeah, no, CL, no micros. This was
and $10 a point.
I'm telling this to James, and he's like, if you want to just practice with oil and just get the read of the market, and I was like, I just made $4,000, and then I think the next day I lost like 12.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then I said to James, and James was like, I knew this was like, he knew it was going to happen, but he wanted me to go through that whole thing of, and Austin always talks about this too. And I talk about it. You got to touch the stove. Yeah. You got to burn yourself, and you got to understand to feel the pain. And once you understand the pain, you're going to slowly, hopefully, stop making mistakes. So anyways, went from oil, and then James is like, are you ready? I'm like, I'm ready. Okay, do you want to look at ES or NQ? And he's like, I think ES is better. It moves a little smoother for a new trader. It's not as volatile. And I just focused on it ES since. In 2 years, I've taken 2 or 3 trades on NQ and 1 or 2 on YM. But mainly
ES.
365 days a year, whenever I can be at the charts, unless I'm sick or I'm traveling. Even when I traveled, I tried to trade as much as I could. And it's just been ES.